My apartment was robbed once, and then broken into a couple of months later, and that's not even the crazy or spooky part. I just moved in and I got very, very sick, and I actually had to go stay with my parents while getting treatment at the hospital. No one had even been to my new place or knew the address. It was full of unpacked boxes that I was too ill to move in properly. Whoever broke in, they left the DTV, they left the jar of cash on the dresser, and they only took my diaries, multiple diaries. Someone had rifled through my stuff, found those diaries, and only took them. They even left my DIY and recipe books, which were the same style as those diaries. So they had to have checked each individual. This apartment was on the 3rd floor. There was no sign of a break-in, but there was small handles on the outside of the pillars of the porch. It went all the way to the ground, thinking, maybe perhaps they climbed, but I don't know the second occurrence when I knew something weird was happening, and that someone had been in my apartment. I returned home one night to find the light outside of my door was off. In the moment, I didn't really think much of it, except that I need to call and get it replaced. I unlocked and opened up my door and tried to turn on the light. Nothing. I thought maybe the power had gone out. But then I looked and saw my microwave still had the correct time on it. Something about that spooked me, and I went over and called the on-call agent for our apartment complex. He came over, and I waited outside. He came out a few minutes later and told me to immediately call the police. Turns out nothing had been taken, but every single light bulb in my apartment had been unscrewed just enough so that the lights wouldn't turn on. The cops came and checked it out, found nothing suspicious, but told me to stay somewhere else for the night. The next day, after telling my sister what happened, her and her boyfriend drove from 3 hours away and installed deadbolts. It was against the complex's policy, but the management was just as creeped out as I was. Thankfully, nothing else creepy happened in the 2 years that I lived.